Hello, my name is Robert Lunte. I'm the founder of the Vocalist Studio and the author and producer of probably one of the world's most comprehensive home study vocal training programs ever produced. It's called the 4 Pillars of Singing. It comes with a book and an online coursework system that'll blow your socks off if you're serious about training. But I want to give you guys a quick free video here that I'm going to title this Baritones Can Sing High. That's right, baritones can sing high. We have a problem in the vocal training, vocal technique industry, and that is that traditional classical music, vocal Fach, now that's F-A-C-H, I think it's German, vocal Fach, which is the kind of classic fancy word that we use to refer to voice classifications that you've heard of before. Bass, baritone, tenor, alto, soprano. Different voice types, all right? We call that vocal Fach sometimes. And what you guys need to know is this. Vocal Fach comes from the tradition of classical music. And it's really relevant when it comes to classical singing, like in opera, because in opera, a lot of the casting of characters will partly depend upon the vocal Fach. In other words, oftentimes the heroes, the tenor, and the old men are baritones and bass because the vocal type tends to kind of suit the character in a sense, as far as casting of operas. So vocal Fach, or these vocal types, voice types, are important in opera singing. And of course, they make sense and are super important in choral singing as well, where you're singing big, giant vocal chords, basically, with different voice types. But here's what you guys need to know. The majority of you are not classical singers. You're not singing in a classical choral group, and you're not training, nor do you have any interest in singing opera music. So most of you are contemporary singers. And contemporary singers really need not concern themselves with vocal Fach, these voice classifications. You may have been led to believe that you have to be concerned about it. I've heard stories where there's voice coaches out there that think it means something in regards to the contemporary vocal technique and style world and industry, which is where most of you are coming from. Certainly it's what I'm teaching as well, but it doesn't. Vocal types or voice types or vocal Fach have very little to do with what you can or cannot do with your voice. In particular, baritones, such as myself, many baritones have been told by other voice coaches and people that are classical minded that they can't sing high notes. And I'm here to give you some good news, to tell you the truth. That is just BS. It's not true that baritones can't sing high, all right? If you've been told by another voice coach or a school that has pigeonholed you, typecasted you, and told you you're a baritone, you gotta stay down here and you can never sing high. If that's the message you've been given, you've been sold down the river, all right? And it's not true, all right? Again, I'm a baritone and I sing high. Go out to the Robert Lunte performance playlist. You'll hear me screaming heavy metal screams and do the passaggio and belting in the head voice all day long. I do it all day long in here when I'm training. I'm technically a baritone, but I can sing high, all right? Let me explain to you what these voice types really do mean, all right? They don't mean anything about range and how high or low you can go. Not generally speaking, all right? What they really are about is the physiology. So let me explain. The difference between a baritone and a tenor voice is that the vocal cords of a tenor are a little bit thinner, all right? They're thinner. They don't have as much fat on the surface area when they come together. On the other hand, baritones have vocal cords or vocal folds that are fatter, a little bit thicker, all right? So there is a true, anatomical difference between a tenor and a baritone, and what the difference between the lighter mass tenor vocal folds and the heavier mass baritone vocal folds, the difference between those two in application really is more related to sound color, not range and ability to sing high or low. That has far, far less impact. Okay, again, it's really more about sound color. So a tenor will tend to be able to sing high notes a little bit easier, yes, a pinch easier intuitively. However, the sound color that a tenor will produce will tend to be brighter. A baritone can sing the same notes that a tenor can sing, but the sound color will be a little bit darker. And sometimes tenors are jealous of baritones because baritones can sing the high notes, but when they do so, they also bring a lot of warmth and a heavier sound color with them, which is great for blending with the chest voice. So those of you that are baritones have been told that you can't sing high, number one, just know that that's BS. It's not true. Somebody, whoever told you that doesn't know what they're talking about. Number two, what it means is your vocal folds are a little bit thicker. The tissue's a little bit thicker, all right? It does mean that your ability to bridge the passaggio and get to the higher notes in terms of training, the work commitment, the training commitment might be, not all the time, might be a little bit more challenging, might take a little more work than the tenor voice. However, if you achieve that with good training techniques, for example, with my program, the 4 Pillars of Singing, all right? If you work on my program and really commit to it, and you're a baritone, you'll be able to sing tenor parts, absolutely. And when you get to those tenor parts, it won't be a lighter sound, although you could sing lighter if you wanted to, but what you will be able to do that a tenor probably couldn't do quite as easy is sing the same high note with a thicker, darker sound color, which typically is preferable. Okay? So, I'll just leave it at that. Try to keep it short and snappy. Those of you that are baritones, again, that have been told that you can't sing high, it's completely bunk, somebody lied to you or doesn't know what they're talking about. You can sing high with the proper training, proper contemporary training techniques, you can do it. My program, the 4 Pillars of Singing, will show you how to do it.